and welcome to More Than Footy, brought to you by Bingley. I'm Hayley Falkiner.
And I'm Tom Chadwick, subbing in for the great Nick Davis as Hayley's co-host. So Hayley, thanks for having me. I like this setup.
It's a new
bean
setup.
Bags are nice.
Yeah, it's a nice casual setup. I quite like it, don't you?
It's very nice.
Now, before we get stuck into our chat with Will Hayward and James Rowbottom, which is going to be a great chat, mind you, I want to talk a bit of footy before we get into it. Lost to Richmond, bit of a bummer.
Yeah, it goes to show though, if you're a bit off, you can kind of be beaten by anyone. And Richmond were very good on the day, and John Longmire was on record to say that they were just better. A better attack at the ball and attack at the man, and our defence probably didn't stand up when it counted, leaking a few goals in certain passages. So up against West Coast this week, so hopefully the tide will turn.
Absolutely, and gather round, exciting. You're an Adelaide boy, you go on about it all the time. Tell us, how exciting is it to have footy, the Festival of Footy, head down to Adelaide?
Yeah, it's a great concept, gather round. Of course, the Swannies are taking on West Coast in Mount Barker, which is in the Adelaide Hills, only 5,000 capacity stadium, so it's going to be tight and packed. But really looking forward to it. It's a great festival of footy. I know that John has been on record as saying he'd like to take it to Sydney, but Adelaide's got it for the next couple of years, so let's enjoy it while it's there.
Hopefully it does come to Sydney. We just need a few more grounds, and then
yes, I think that's the
point. A few
point.
more grounds, and then I think we'd really nail it up, yeah?
Correct.
All right, enough of us. Let's get stuck into our chat with Will and Rowie. Rowie, Wilbur, thank you for joining us on More Than Footy. Rowie, you just signed 4 years with us. That's pretty exciting.
Thanks
How are you
very
feeling?
much. Yeah, it's really good. Been in the works for a while, but it's obviously good to get it out of the way early in the season, and really appreciate the faith that the club's put in me, and can't wait for the next couple of years.
Did you ever feel as though you were headed anywhere else apart from the Swans?
No, not at all. I'm pretty confident, and I'm sure Will can agree that the group that we've got at the moment is very exciting and building something special, we think.
Will, yours is not done. Have you got some tips from Rowie on how to get it done so you're staying put?
I think I need the tips of Rowie to how to get it done. But yeah, echo all Rowie's points. It's a very exciting young group. A lot of our best players are, under our age now, and Rowie's hitting the sweet spot. So to get him locked away for 4 years is a massive result for the club.
You probably wouldn't talk about cash or anything like that, but you talk about going along the journey together as a group and talking about, sticking together and sticking fat.
Rowie was pretty open about his big new contract. He's been running around. He had a new watch on, and he's got some flashy new shoes on.
So he's taken some of yours.
He's he's probably slowed
watch
down
and
the
my
process.
shoes I got for free.
I think you might speak to your close mate about, there won't be any details about it, but it'd be like, how's it looking? Are you getting there? Have you started talks? Things like that. You never talk about the cash or anything like that. But yeah, maybe just ask how the process is going, and we've got a few players out of contract, so I'm sure as the year goes on that those questions will start getting asked. But if there's any trade rumours or anything like that, we usually bring those up and take the piss a bit.
Now, throughout this process of you signing 4 years, I actually found out that I didn't realise you've never received a Brownlow vote, which blows my mind because you're like a freight train on the field, and I just would have expected you to have one by now. Are you feeling a bit like...
Is that a backhanded compliment or?
No, it's a good thing. You tackle
No,
hard.
yeah.
It just kind of shocked me that you hadn't got one. Do you feel a bit like snubbed?
No, I don't really care for Brownlow votes. I mean, you care much more for what the coaches and players and staff, as you said, think within the four walls. I know it's cliched, but it is what you care about, and it's what I've built my career off so far. So I think I kind of wear it as a bit of a badge of honour that I've played almost 100 games and haven't got a single Brownlow vote.
It's funny you brought that up because when Rowie took down, I think it was Jordan DeGoey against Collingwood and didn't get a free kick for it, Mills, he was on the bench, he stood up, smacked the top of the roof and said, surely he gets a Brownlow vote for that.
Surely.
Maybe.
Do you consider, though, the respect of the teammates a lot higher than outside honours, including umpires?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as I said, that's what you play footy for, and as I said before, the connection that we're building in this group. We've played, I know we're still young, but we've played a lot of footy together now, and I think out of my sort of total games, I think I've played 85 odd or 90 with Blakes and Juzzy and that sort of age group now. So we've played a lot of footy together, and it's very exciting.
We're headed to Adelaide for Gather Round. Wilbur, hometown.
It is, yeah. Gather Round was super fun last year. It exceeded my expectations. Definitely, it's a buzz. It's you know, for a South Australian, it's like Christmas, gather round and you know, have Mad March there with the fringe and obviously not much anymore, but close to it. So the buzz is well and truly alive in Adelaide.
I know Horses on record are saying that once Adelaide is done, I think they've got the contract for a couple of years.
Couple more years, yep.
What would you feel about gather round here in Sydney if there was, you know, enough infrastructure in terms of stadiums? Decent concept?
Yeah, I think so. I think the success that has been shown last year in Adelaide and hopefully again this year is a good blueprint for what Sydney could provide, I think. And if we can continue to build the game here and, as you said, get the infrastructure, it'd be a great idea.
Yeah, it'd be like a bigger version of the opening round, Will. What do you think if gather round was taken here in Sydney?
Yeah, I think it would be great. I think you could put it anywhere and it would be good. It's just the way the AFL operates. I think they make it, you know, they could make it a success anywhere. But, you know, why wouldn't you want it here with all the sights to see? And, you know, Sydney's still, AFL's still growing in Sydney. So, you know, what an opportunity to pump it even more.
5,000 fans can get into Mount Barker, isn't it? So 4.5 are going to be your family?
I'm actually struggling. It's harder to get these tickets than grand final tickets, I reckon.
Seriously?
No, it is. It's only 5,000 people.
Yeah, no street, yep.
Yeah, that's, you know, if it was at Adelaide Oval, different story. But, you know, I've got mates begging me for a ticket and I'm, you know, might have to take a few off Chatty.
Do you know much about the Adelaide Hills, Rowie? I know Wills probably knows a lot more about it, given he's an Adelaide boy. But have you spent much time there at all?
No, not too privy to anything outside of Adelaide Oval, to be honest. I've only been there to play footy, and that's about it. So I'm keen to get out there.
Well, it's probably somewhere you could go for a road trip, which was going to go into my next question, because you love a road trip, and people probably don't know Bessie the Bus.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us and everyone else a little bit about Bessie the Bus?
It was a COVID project. So when we're in, I think, the first or second hub, at the end of it, I bought a old Toyota Hiace online from Shepparton. So I had our neighbour's father, who lives in Shepparton, go check it out because we couldn't go outside your 5K radius. So he did a test drive of it, and then we put on a truck and got it driven to my family house in Melbourne, and then spent in Hawthorn.
Oh, that's your other house.
Yeah. And then me and my old man spent the next sort of 8 weeks just tearing it apart and putting in a little kitchen and bed, and since then we've been able to have a couple of road trips.
Any favourite trips you can tell us about?
Couple of favourite spots, like good weekend spots like Shoal Bay, and which is a bit up north from here, which is beautiful. That's probably been a regular visit.
Yep. Why do you like just getting out and hitting the road?
I don't know, actually. I much prefer to be outdoors than indoors, like even like a day off. I mean, you're pretty into your cot at the moment, so that's taking up your time, but I'm good for one game, and then Lizard takes over. But yeah, I'd much prefer to be out in the water, and being in Sydney's a pretty easy place to do that.
You mentioned Lizard. Not many of our fans would know that you actually live with him. Is he as annoying at home as he is here?
Probably not as annoying. He spends most of his petrol tickets at the club annoying everyone here.
For us, right?
Yeah, he gets home and he's still the same, but he's a little bit more reserved, I'd say.
Is he clean?
Clean enough.
Right.
He's great in the kitchen. He's great.
That's boy clean. Does
That's
that mean clothes
No,
everywhere?
he's great in the kitchen and living area. Like, he doesn't piss me or Belle off when we're home, but his bedroom can get a bit out of hand at times. But that doesn't bother me.
I once went into his bedroom and couldn't actually see the floor. That's not ham.
No, that's not. That was at our old joint.
That was at your old place.
Yeah, he had a smaller room there. Yeah.
Can he cook? Is he like a good cook or?
He rates his barbecue skills, and I'll back up.
Pretty straight.
Right.
I'll back up. It's good.
Yeah.
So he knows his role and plays. He can clean up if I cook.
Plays his role.
Yeah, yeah.
What about you, Wilbur? What do you like doing outside of the club?
I'm into my cot at the moment, but this is very new.
For those
Me and
who
Lizard.
cot?
Call of Duty. Lizard and I just like randomly turned it on probably a week ago.
You've had some serious hours in the week on it.
And we've grinded like, but other than that, so that was.
Is that the one where you like wear a headset and you're talking?
Yeah,
to
yeah.
mates
I can
and-
talk.
right.
Talk.
Abuse people.
For the older people in the room, i.e.
you.
me, explain the what's the buzz out of that?
We shoot.
Oh, mate, it's just like you're teaming up. You got, it's sort of like paintball, but Not
Okay.
actually shooting, it's not real
You're
life.
playing against Lizard, or you?
Nah, he'll be on my team,
against
and
randos?
we'll just do tactics and think we're bloody in the,
Tactics.
in the SWAT team, and whatever. It's just good when you're bored. But don't pay me out like I just live in a dark room and play COD.
Also got a new.
We also recently got ourselves some e-bikes. Myself, Rowie,
about half the team now.
Ollie, Tay Adams.
God, it's amazing when you
JJ,
get a footy player.
Juzzy Doss Pisty just picked him up today.
Juzzy Dawson Piss.
Well, this
So
should
half
be
the
good.
team, we've got these. So shout out to Fat Boy
Have
Bikes.
you cleared this with
No,
downstairs?
don't. Nah,
I don't think.
Well,
you'll be
Horse
overly
knows about
thrilled.
him.
He knows
Oh,
about
he
it.
knows.
but
Yeah,
doesn't love it.
He's seen Lizard
He saw Lizard.
patrolling
We can imagine
around
Lizard driving an e-bike. I
Yeah.
can't imagine it's pretty.
It's,
with his sick ass
so
helmet.
we do that. We drive into the club. We drove. I do ride in today.
Yep.
Parking.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
gosh,
rode in
yeah.
today.
We're going to fill up the bike rack soon.
yeah,
There'll be no space in there.
Something else, actually, we were talking about the COVID hub, and I was chatting to someone the other day. I asked for a few stories on you guys before I came in here. You had a pet pig. And I want to, and obviously I was shook by
Jeez,
this.
gone through the archives here.
God, we
100%.
talked about this the other day.
I didn't even remember that. Yeah, we had Joel and I got a couple guinea pigs.
Oh,
Hang
guinea
on,
pigs.
guinea pigs or actual pigs?
So, mate, you think I had a pet pig in my
that was-
little apartment in
that-
Bondi?
Look, that was the
someone's-
feedback.
That was the feedback. was
Well,
a
I
pet
mean,
pig.
technically it's a guinea. Yeah, so I don't know if that's a pig.
It's a form of a pig.
It
I wouldn't call it. I don't think it's a pig.
we got two guinea pigs.
Go into depth here. This
And
is gold.
So Joel and I, we named them Devon and Ghost, and then
Devon.
2 weeks later we woke up, and there was another one in there. So they'd
mated.
mated.
They had not.
And then Devon had died. Right,
Oh,
mine
no.
shattering. I know.
So
Is
Devon.
RSPA listening to this?
No,
Nah. So just listen, Chatty, for 1 second.
nice.
And then it was just the mum and the son left. 2 weeks later, there were another two in there.
Oh no!
So there was some sort of
Incestuous
Incestual.
behaviour.
incest going on.
What
And
goes on in your house?
yeah, look, I don't know. And so Joel and I live with Joel, and we were pretty rattled by it. We're like, God, there's bloody. I think it got up to about 5 or 6 in there at one stage, all
big's the
all
pen?
related, not big enough.
big
But then
enough.
we got shipped off to Gold Coast or wherever for the hub, and my brother was staying there. And he, called and said, mate, there's another 2 in there. What do you want me to do? I said, just don't tell me what you do. Just make sure make sure they're not there when we get back.
For those listening, they were safely.
Yeah, like they were
given away,
taken to the
released.
They were taken to our
taken to the farm.
to our family farm up in Tuncurry on Bessie's Bus.
Nice.
So they're still out there. There's probably 100 of them now, but yeah.
It's a guinea pig plague up there now.
Yeah.
All thanks to you.
One of the more staggering stories.
That's definitely one of the weirdest stories. But actually, an insight into your mind, if anyone wants to know, they just go to Twitter. Because
Yes. Yep.
Twitter is like an open door to your thoughts.
Correct.
Actually, I obviously printed off a couple because they're just so random. So people who drink straight milk aren't well. That was
Yep.
one. If you're an F1 driver,
Tom McCartan.
if you're an F1 driver and lose your license, are you still allowed to compete? That was a good question.
Great question.
Shocking
Talk me
question.
through. I would almost say you use Twitter like a Facebook status update.
Yeah,
of?
sort of. It's just like if there's something controversial or like I tweeted once like I was eating a Magnum, right, and like obviously biting off the chocolate across the outside, and I was like, people like if you're just biting into a Magnum, I won't trust you, sort of thing.
Right.
What about
Like-
a combination of both? I do
Nah.
some of the chocolate, but then like the chocolate and the ice cream are in the same mouthfuls also.
No, you can't do it.
You can.
You don't. Well, you can't.
So you got to nibble off the chocolate.
You
and
nibble off
then-
chocolate and eat the ice cream and just like and like if I see someone drinking like a glass of milk, I'm just like, that is just disgusting. Jay, you look like the sort of bloke that does that.
No, doesn't he look so sus?
He looks like he's got something in the barrel here.
with like
No, not full cream, but there's nothing wrong with just a glass of milk, is there?
no, like there's nothing wrong with it, but it's not. It's just crook. It's just gross. Like just drink something else.
Is it possible to fill up an ice tray without dropping water?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's a fair question. I don't think I've ever completed
it's
that.
so hard. Hey,
If you
like
get-
like so when I tweeted that, like
You
I
spill
filled up
water
the 2
everywhere.
ice trays and Joel's like, no, you're spilling water everywhere. I'm like, okay, well, you bloody transport it then.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
It is.
Tweeted it. I mean, a lot of the time, I had one where I got very bad feedback on.
What was that
Which
one?
one was
I'd love
that?
to know.
It was about, so like I didn't really think through it. It was in COVID and I'd gone and got a coffee and it cost like $6.50, and it wasn't nothing flash about the coffee. It was just a coffee. And I tweeted like, "Geez, that's crazy," and everyone was just like, "Oh, poor you," think about the.
To be fair, I kind of get their point.
Yeah, I did too.
Correct.
I did too. It's like, poor you. Think about the small businesses who have to raise their costs and their staff, and I was just like, oh no. There was like 200 comments on there.
Oh no.
Yeah,
really
I left it
upset
up
the
there.
apple cart there.
What about you, Ro? Are you a social media user
Not-
as much as Will?
No, not as much as Will. I wouldn't have thought. I don't really tweet at all. I don't use Twitter.
You're not quite.
No, not as active as.
Are you a
as
reader?
Will. Trying to.
What's your book of choice?
At the moment, I'm reading
Picture
Picture
Boy
Books.
Swallows.
Picture books.
Boy Who
Dumbo.
Swallows Universe.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Yep.
Have you seen the series?
No,
Are you going book
I'm
first?
going to read the book and then watch it.
I feel like you can tell a lot about someone by their Netflix choice.
Yep.
So yours are obviously
Serial
mostly
killers?
serial killer documentaries.
Yeah, nice.
Makes sense.
Wilbur, what would be?
I've actually conquered Netflix.
Will's watched every movie and TV show ever.
So-
if you ask for a suggestion, I think I'm pretty well equipped with like movie knowledge and stuff. And I'll give him a suggestion. Be like, nah, watch that already.
Okay, give us your top 3 in the last year.
Oh, I couldn't. What I will say is like, so I have to fall asleep to the TV on. That's why I've seen everything. So every night,
yep.
every night something will be on
I do
TV
too. I
with a
understand
sleep timer on. So, like, what did I watch the other day? I watched The Dropout on Disney Plus, which is great. It's about this. It's based on a true story. This sort of fraud thing in America. This girl drops out of Stanford, tries to build this bloody, I don't know, science
Blood
reader. Blood
tester.
reader. Her company's worth $9 billion at one stage, and she hasn't even got a product
Degree. Yeah.
or a degree, and so it's just like, she ends up going to jail.
She gets
and
done.
It's a good watch. I enjoyed that.
Speaking of randomly making money, tell us about Doozy with you and Ollie.
Randomly making money.
And how did
That
this
was
come
good.
about?
I like that. That was good.
And how is it going?
Doozy is going well. So it was a bit of a grind for the first 3 years.
Yep.
Since then, we're just about to be. I don't know when this comes out, but we'll be Australia wide in probably the next 2 weeks. So we'll be at your local Dans in Perth, in Gold Coast, in everywhere. So we've had to do a capital raise and to fulfil those orders and get some full-time people. So it's a bit bigger than just Ollie and I now. We've sort of taken a step back and got some full-time people to run the show. So
What was the inspiration behind it in the first place? A lot of people think football players, you earn enough money, etc. Is it a passion project? Is it about trying to broaden your horizons into the business?
Love me piss.
it's just passion.
Or you just love your seltzers?
Love your seltzers.
Ollie and I were in the hub, first hub, so whenever that was, 2020, 2019, was it?
Yeah.
We saw how big it was in America, and there wasn't any seltzers on the market apart from Good Tides, which I think is the seltzer partner of the AFL now. Thanks for the support, AFL.
That's right. Where's Gil when you need him?
Yeah. And we just thought, why wouldn't we give it a go? We're in the hub, we're doing nothing else.
Except breeding guinea pigs.
Except, wasn't it anymore.
Inbred guinea pigs.
R.I.P. Yep.
And we just gave it a go. We got a marketing agency on board who's now an equal shareholder. My brother works there. My sister's the head of operations. We've got a couple sales reps, a couple sort of advisors that have been in the industry for 10 to 20 years. So it's much bigger than Ollie and I now. We know the least, but it was a tough grind at the start. We'd fill up our car and
We wouldn't have known about it.
No, drive out to Manly and knock on the local.
You make Manly sound like it's a different country.
No. I mean, sorry. Okay, gosh, drive out. Could be to Cronulla or Manly, or just get in the car and spend the day somewhere.
Ollie still whinges about the emails that he has to do.
Yeah, Ollie has to do about one email a month and struggles to get that done.
I was going to ask, how is Ollie Florent as a business partner?
Look, he's very good, and I think since we've gotten help, like he's sort of relied on that a bit, and so have I.
He's like
and so have I. His role is
Very
his role was head of business partnerships and events and stuff like that. So He's actually really good. He's just not too good at communicating on email. I have to text him to check his email quite regularly. But no, it's awesome. I wouldn't have wanted to do it with anyone else.
Well, we've really enjoyed your time with us here today. This is our new setup, and you've made it work.
I don't mind
well.
it.
I actually
I'm-
quite
I'm-
like it. Do you
I'm
like the
here for it.
beanbag?
I'll
Yeah.
just sit here for another half hour.
Yeah.
We should
Yeah.
interview you.
No, you don't want to do that.
No, you don't.
No.
Chatty, how tall are you?
No. Don't go down that hole.
You are dead. You are dead to me. No, boys, thanks for joining us and good luck against the Eagles this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.